Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. This is a sponsored video from Dragonheir, and yeah, we have the Dungeons and Dragons event still going. We have another day on it, 24 hours, so if you're interested in checking out the event, go ahead and download the game. I have a download link down in my description. Go ahead and download there and get going. This game right now is currently open on all sorts of different platforms. It's open on the PC. I'm currently playing on the PC. They have a great PC client, and it is open on iPhone. It's open on Android. Yeah, lots of different places you can download the game. I think it's available on Steam, Mac, everything. So literally every single platform. They've done a great job with the cross-platform play, unlike some of the other games that have some trouble with cross-platform. We have the current event right now to summon. Again, you have 1 day, 5 hours at the time I'm making this video. Once it goes live, you'll have a little bit less time, but get in here. Grab your copy of Drizzt if you want him. You can use your Heliolite dice that you get in the game. You do get a good amount of Worm Arrow for free that you can use to purchase those dice. So you can grab him for free if you have any of your mats saved up. If you're joining the game a little bit late, you may not be able to grab him. But yeah, so that's everything with Drizzt. I have a copy of him. I will show you some gameplay with him today. Today we're going to be focused on the end game stuff. So this is the dragon called Endgame. It's literally called Endgame. Like, you know, all right, we're getting to the end game, and here we're actually at the end game. We'll get some gameplay with him, but this game is definitely an open world game. You can see there's lots of maps to run around in, lots of good stuff like that. You can teleport, and the game unlocks these different zones as you get through the game. So lots of cool stuff to do there. Now, once you get to the last month of the game, they opened up this last section called Otherworld Exploration. So one of the main points of this video is going to be talking about some of the new stuff they added recently. They added some team building in here in the last month or so, where you can basically save your layouts, which is really nice. You can see right here, you can save your layouts with different teams. I put a bunch of different teams in here to try to maximize my damage on some of these bosses. You can see I got, for a lot of these, you have basically 6 teams that you want to attack. So by the time you unlock this, you are so far into the game that you should hopefully have a lot of these different teams built and geared out. But the cool part that they added recently is this right here. So you can see when you put in a team, you can automatically load all the gear onto the team that you set up ahead of time, and it just makes it, you know, quicker and a lot easier to do, because you do have to do like 6 teams for each one of these. So okay, let's show you the very first team with Drizzt. So here's it's funny, I keep on thinking Urgander kind of looks like Drizzt as well. He does look very similar. So if you look, there he is, and then look at Drizzt, I feel like they just look very similar. Anyways, here we go. So you hit use and you pop in this team here. The gear doesn't change automatically, and it does kind of put them in a weird spot for some reason. I think it's because sometimes the maps are rotated depending on where you do the map. So you just click this bottom and the bottom right, and you hit load, and that's just going to load up the gear. Now everyone's got the gear on them. I'm actually going to use Drizzt as my tank, so that's going to be quite interesting. So there we go. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We have all our gear. So this is kind of like a support unit that I'm using here, but also does a little bit of damage. So you have some damage stats. Grants a shield based on attack, which is kind of nice. And also going to help place the defense penalty for me. So, okay. So I have gear on everyone. Just make sure all my saved things are going here. Let's go. So here's Drizzt. Get to try him out. We have this beautiful damage meter that we have on the side. Drizzt is not crazy in terms of damage. I kind of have him built a little bit as a tank. So I have him in the 3-piece set that heals every time he deals damage, and that is kind of enough to keep him alive. Kind of nice. So you can get some damage on him. You can see he's doing, you know, 22% of my damage right now, but he's also soaking a lot of damage being a tank. Now, the tank isn't very important for this boss. This boss is kind of like Vortex, where you're going to be just taking a lot of AoE damage. So that's kind of what happens here. But yeah, so this is going to be our good team here. This is, we will have 6 teams to beat on this boss here. It's pretty cool. I mean, I like the synergy between these teams and the factions and stuff. And they changed the faction synergy, which is pretty cool. So right now we have Frost, and undead together. And the last season we had different groupings. So there's 6 different affinities, and they group them 2, 2, 2 together, and you get bonuses based on that. So if you have 5 in a team, you get a lot of bonuses that you can put points into to get you a lot more damage for those teams. So I really do enjoy the team building synergy in this game. They have a great team building synergy. A lot of cool heroes, and honestly, a lot of the epic heroes are very good as well. Especially because, you know, legendary heroes, you need the legendary skill ups to skill them up, which can be a little bit difficult to get. So sometimes the epics can perform a little bit better than some of the legendaries. Even some of the rares, maybe. I've seen some videos recently saying some of the rares are better than Drizzt in terms of all-out damage, and it's quite interesting. So the game can definitely be free-to-play friendly if you want it to be, right? There's always going to be some content that there's always going to be better people stronger than you, right? When it's a pay-to-win game, but like this. But this game is fairly free-to-play because there is lots of epic and rare teams that can do a lot of this end-game content, which is pretty cool. So this is probably my best team. Some of my other teams don't end up living quite as long. You have 10 minutes to kill the boss, right? And by the time the timer runs out, you basically just end, and that's your damage, and then you put in your next team. So this is by far the longest of my teams, the longest of my runs, because my Frost team is, able to stay alive pretty well. I have this Aleka support, who's also a legendary, down in the bottom right here, and I have a lot of skill haste on her, a lot of accuracy, and she converts accuracy to resist. So if you'll actually notice here, you can see she doesn't get debuffs when everyone else gets debuffs, because she has like 500 resist or something. Because she has 500 accuracy at the beginning, she converts it to resist as well, so pretty cool. I lost my Hivitar, that's my big damage dealer, but we still have the other ones alive. My Hivitar has my best gear, so it's kind of funny. When you have the best gear, that usually means all of your stats went into attack, crit damage, etc. So that means your stats didn't go into things like HP and defense. So she kind of unfortunately ends up dying because she is the best geared, which is kind of funny. But that's kind of how it works, at least for the gear sets that I have here. So this boss, you basically want to get like, what is it, 128 million damage between your 6 teams, something like that. There's a total damage number you're looking for to get the maximum amount of rewards. So we're actually doing pretty good here. We got 27 mil. I have a spreadsheet that I'm kind of like tracking my teams and how much damage I'm getting all these guys. But yeah, so this is kind of what the end game looks like in this game. Obviously, it's a lot of me watching the run go, but it took me a lot of time to set up all these teams. I spent I didn't even realize we had that team that like saved loadout. They added it about a month ago, but then they added the gear system into it as well. So when it first came out, I was like, oh, we got loadouts. I mean, that's fine, but there's no gear switching in the loadout, so I never really went back in there. But just last night or yesterday during the day, I noticed that you can put gear in there, so I spent like hours and hours trying different teams, building up some different units for this, and getting all the gear set up on everyone, getting all those teams saved in your loadouts and all that stuff. So there's obviously a lot of time going into building up these teams, but it's really cool. I'll show you. You can also change when you get like when people use ultimates. It's actually very customizable, which I haven't really seen in other games. I love the way they implemented this. Honestly, Dragonheir has done a great job this season in making improvements. The first season was really rough. It was really rough. There was a lot of complaints about this and that, but honestly, I think they did a much better job with this season. They did add more content, so there's a lot more stuff you can do inside the game. In the last season, there definitely wasn't as much stuff, and I think they're doing a great job with what they have added to the game since the game was released. So the game's been released, what was that, about 6 months ago. Season 0 is what they called the first beta season, and then this is season 1. So this season ends in about 2 weeks. There will be a reset where your heroes go back to level 1, but every skill up you put in will stay. All the artifacts you got will stay. You'll even get the material to level up your artifacts back. It shows you in game all the cool stuff you get back. But yeah, so this is a seasonal game. I wonder if they're ever going to offer a permanent season. I think some people might actually enjoy a permanent season. If you don't play a lot of hours, it takes you kind of a while to get through the story and get all your teams set up. So if you're not playing, you know, multiple hours a day, you know, you may not enjoy the season as much, but I don't know. Maybe eventually they will add, you know, permanent seasons. That might be cool, like they do in other games like Path of Exile that have seasons. You can choose to be on the season that gets reset every couple months, or you can choose to be on a permanent season so you can keep your progression. I don't know if they'll ever add something like that, but that would be pretty cool for sure. All right, we're doing pretty good. We got 41 mil. My poor little Hivitar has been dead for quite some time now. I'm gonna have to look to eventually getting a little bit more, I don't know, HP or defense or something into her gear set so she can live a little bit longer, because she's supposed to be my biggest damage dealer, and she spends a lot of time dead. Vortex and this boss, she definitely spends a lot of time dead. I mean, am I actually gonna make it to the minute 30? I might actually make it to the minute 30, which is quite surprising here. Yeah, what else have they added this season? I think they've added some of the faction towers into Endgame. I don't remember that the first season, but maybe I'm wrong on that. They have faction towers where you can go through and use your two factions that work together. Example is, you know, Frost and Necro, like we have going right now. I don't have any Necro people on the team, but I could, and it would still give me my five person bonus. Drizzt is pretty cool in this. It's just kind of another enemy in here to soak up damage, which is kind of nice. He gets targeted sometimes and takes some damage, and the cat is quite tanky, so that's pretty cool. Drizzt is quite tanky as well. You see that shield on him that's been there for quite some time. So he's doing pretty good damage there. So we got 45% from our Oster, and now our Drizzt is going to pick up the slack for the last 30 seconds here and get some damage done. So that's pretty cool. I think I put the wrong artifact. Maybe this boss can't be debuffed, or maybe I just don't have enough accuracy on my... what's her name? Vanya? What's her name? No, that's the girl from Umbrella Academy. I forget her name. What's this girl's name? Totally forget the skeleton girl's name. But maybe she's not able to place it, because I have not seen it go on. But boom, here we go. About 46 mil, huh? Here we go. Pretty good. 47. Let's take a quick screenshot for the spreadsheet, and then go. Okay, so all you got to do now is pretty cool. You can see your damage. You can hit save, or you can redeploy. You can challenge again. You can do all sorts of stuff. So it's kind of cool. I like the way they do it. You know, sometimes in the guild boss runs, you have to like exit right before the end of it. In a lot of games, you know, Raid Shadow Legends, Watcher of Realms, all these games, you kind of got to exit before the end happens. And if you randomly lose your team, you're stuck with that damage. But this game, it's really nice. You can choose to save, redeploy, or challenge again. I like that. I think that's really cool. I'm going to save this damage for now. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the video. I just wanted to talk about some of the team building, talk about some of the end game, the new bosses, talk about the new features they've added, such as this layout. This was huge. Honestly, this was my biggest complaint about the game for a while is, you know, they wanted you to fight each boss with, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 to 6 teams, and it was always a pain to swap gear. So now you have this, you get to swap the gear instantaneously with just a couple of clicks. Awesome. So if you are looking to play a open world game like this, especially ones that has a big name like Dungeons and Dragons attached to it, you know, this is definitely the game for you. There's a lot of downloads on the game. It's definitely got, I think it's over 10 million downloads already. So if you're interested in joining the game, go ahead, go down in the description, and I will have a download link, and enjoy. Okay, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like and that subscribe button. Again, download link down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.